that's not true terror. This is. Yeah. So, you want to see some more? Let's face it, we've all screwed up at one point or another. I'm not afraid to admit it. Unfortunately, that means I've had to subject you guys to some crappy videos. If you remember from a while ago, I asked you guys to pick my best and worst videos, and for the worst videos, I got less than 10 responses. Yeah, that's not much material to work with, and I don't necessarily agree with all the choices, but I did promise you guys a video, so here are my top 5 worst videos, voted by you guys. This isn't gonna be pretty. Number 5 is an odd choice to say the least. My update videos. Why? Yeah, they're short, there's nothing really going on in them, except me talking in my manly voice. My guess is that usually when I do them, I deliver some bad news, like if a video gets delayed, something happens in my life, etc. Also, I could show something other than just my channel icon, maybe add in an explosion. That works for Michael Bay, right? Right? So I guess I can see why some people would hate these videos. Even still, we're not done yet. First time's the charm? Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, maybe not. It's really hard to go back and watch my original series, Shade, or Strategic Headquarters of Arsenal, Defense, and Espionage. Even though there's barely any espionage. Kinda misleading, isn't it? Still, I was very young in my filmmaking hobby, and my very first episode, As Could Do Too Far, definitely shows my inexperience at the time. Where to begin? They were stuttering over the dialogue, lazy choices, and inconsistent voice acting.
Well, Blue here has something to show us. I told you so, I told you so.
But worst of all, like most of my first season, I had no script. Yep, I went in guns blazing, and you can see how that turned out.
Do we run out of questions?
Now, even though this isn't a good video, I still see some good in it. I do think the concept of blue skidooing, if you ever saw the show it originated from, akin to dimension hopping, was clever. Even nowadays I see it as clever. Also, I did go into this with a certain level of enthusiasm, and I can't put that aside. Besides, it was my first actual video. I did have a few other videos before this, but I consider this to be my true starting point. No one knocks it out of the park the first time, and I was still learning. This video is where I began, and after over 3 years, I have evolved. So as a starting point, I can't hate on it too much. Just don't try watching it. You'll regret it. Okay, what did I just tell you? This choice I wasn't really expecting, but when pondering about it a bit, I can definitely understand why it was chosen. Anywho, whatchamacallit. While I personally don't find this to be my worst short, that's also honor would go to Local Joints 4H, it definitely is one of my weaker ones. So what's wrong with this one? Well, other than the obvious, just look up what it's called, idiot, problem, I can narrow it down to one glaring issue. Nothing happens. Seriously, all there is a setup, a bit of dialogue and exposition, and a guessing game of, what's this? What's this? Do you guys even care? Yeah, I thought not, because nobody did! Not to mention, some of the objects were just really obscure. I mean, a Baraki tentacle. Really? Oh yeah, I also forgot there's an ending. Not a great one, by the way. I guess it kinda tells that this video isn't that memorable, along with a lot of the shovelware I put out my first year on YouTube. Other than one, maybe two jokes, there's nothing from this that I can really look back and say, yeah, that was a good moment from you, Shade. Really shows what you can do. Here, have a cookie for that. It's inoffensive, but nothing I'd recommend. Unless you're a historian for YouTubers, and if you are, please call me. More subs would be nice. Remember when I said that SK224 was my first actual video? You also remember that I said I had a few other videos before that? Yeah, here's where it rears its ugly head. So, here's the story. After helping Mika X1337 with his own old series, which is now defunct by the way, I became interested in making a series of my own. I wanted it to take place after those videos, so I delayed episode 1 and put up some short crappy videos, including some mock videos and this. First time is definitely not the charm here, folks. I wanted to show that I could do a variety of videos on different topics, this one for an online game, Mechatars, that I was playing at the time. It ended up being a little disappointing, but I still have some good times with it. Heck, you may recognize Coda from Shade in a few of my modern videos. Oh wait, no, I'm rambling. Darn it! So, by watching this footage, you can tell the biggest problem with the video. That's being recorded by camcorder. To be honest, I didn't know much about capture devices or even Bandicam. Heck, that would have been better. Nope. You get it from a source that can't even capture the entire screen. It doesn't help that I had to click on things with the mouse in my one hand while holding the camcorder in my other hand, looking at two different screens at once. Can you see the issue here? It's so hard to enjoy the footage when you can't even see all the footage. I didn't even have any commentary reactions to it. Markiplier would definitely not approve.
Why did I waste my life making this video?
So, in a nutshell,
don't even think about looking at this video.
The only thing that's keeping this at number 2 is that it was one of my first videos, so it has an excuse to be crappy. Number 1, on the other hand... While these videos are not that good, at the very least, I don't hate them. They're innocent enough, and there's nothing that makes me want to burn and torture them. Except for this one. Oh boy. This video, Top 10 Hero Factory characters, is definitely one of the worst pieces of trash that I put out on the internet. I hope you like seeing me go nostalgic like an angry video game nerd, because I'm gonna rip this video a new one. I could put all my countdowns here, but this one is definitely one of the worst ones. Why? Well, first of all, I listed everyone just off of how cool I thought they looked. Yep. Not off of actual characteristics or on anything else like abilities, just their designs. That's extremely juvenile. A 12-year-old would do that, and I was 15 when I made this. And you know who got number 1? Do you really want to know? Meltdown. No, Picard! This isn't even facepalm warming. It's Kill It With Fire worthy. What was I thinking? Sure, it looks kinda cool, but that's pretty much it. May I also add that this list had no effort put into it whatsoever? All it was a single picture and a few lines for each spot. It didn't even explain that well why I liked that character. That's why most of the footage you're seeing is not from the video. There's nothing worth the show. But you wanna know what's the worst thing about this video? The reason why I hate this video so much? Because what it represents to me. You know how many views this video has? Over 34,000. 34 stinking thousand. A crappy video like this is my second most viewed video on my channel. Behind only Is Hero Factory Bad? A video that, while it has some flaws, it had a lot of time and effort put into it, and for the most part, I am proud of it. These two videos couldn't be more different, and they shouldn't even be compared to each other. You know, for a while I considered top 10 favorite bosses my worst list, since I regret a lot of choices I made. But you know what? At least I put time into it, at least I put effort into it, At least I was inspired by actual good countdown makers. If anything, this list that you are watching right now shows how much I've evolved from this awful piece of crap, bunch of profanity-laden insults, but I won't because I want to keep the channel family friendly, and you have the worst video that I've ever produced. This is not how you make a countdown, kids. Keep that in mind. I'm Shay2000, and where's my Prozac? I need to get happy for the best list. Where is it?